Hello, welcome everybody to my very first podcast. I am super nervous, so please be kind. This is something I've really wanted to do for quite a long time, and I finally sort of got around to doing it, I guess. So, tell you a little bit about me. And this video, I suppose, this podcast is going to be about knitting and crochet and sewing and possibly some painting as well. We'll see as time goes on, really. So a little bit about me. My name is Jill. I'm not currently on much in the way of social media. Don't do Instagram, sort of dabble in Facebook, certainly don't do TikTok or anything like that. But you know, that may change as time goes on. But just really for now, what I really wanted to do was just to have a chat with people who are like-minded and enjoy crafts, and just tell you a little bit about what I'm doing, I suppose. So, did I say my name is Jill? I live in Cambridgeshire in England, and I'm 50. I've got 4 kids. I've currently got 4 cats, but that might change. Well, that is going to change actually in August, because my second oldest kid is moving out, and 2 of the cats are there, so they're going with them. So yeah, 4 cats currently, will be 2. So I've been knitting since I was about 7, and I've been crocheting since I was about 30, mid-30s, I think. And I've always loved crafting and stuff, always been making stuff, even when I was a little kid. But I love watching all these like videos, podcasts and stuff. And I love seeing what everybody else is doing. Really, really enjoy that. But quite often I think that people are making stuff with really lovely yarn, and you know, they're buying the project bags, or maybe they're making and selling project bags, or you know, dyeing and spinning in their own yarn and selling that and what have you. And they're all so beautiful, but they are completely out my price range. I'm sure I'm not the only one. So I have a lot of envy when I look at these things. I just think, oh, but I can't afford these things. So yeah, the reason why I can't afford these things really is because I haven't been working now for 2.5 years because I have long COVID, and I'm not going to go on about that because that's not what this podcast is about. But basically it means that physically I'm almost back to what I could. No, that's not true. Physically I'm back to about 50% able to what I used to do, but cognitively it's really messed with my brain and my ability to make decisions and my ability to multitask and stuff like that. So I'm currently not able to work, which, you know, has meant I've had a lot more time to do my crafty stuff, but it has meant that I'm a bit more lonely than I was, because I'm just not seeing as many people. Gosh, this video is all over the place. I had sort of planned out what I was going to say, and I've just sort of like dotted around and said all sorts of stuff, and I have a horrible feeling my camera's wonky. Hang on, let me just see if I can. I think that's better. Possibly. Right, I'm really sorry about that. This is probably going to look really horribly unprofessional, but then hey, you know, I'm not professional. It's my first time doing it, so we'll see what happens. I might decide not to put it up at all. Right, so yeah, so that's a little bit about me. This is a little bit about where I come from in terms of my knitting ability. So and what I use for knitting. So the other thing though I should say is I've got some really, really lovely, generous friends. And if you haven't got a lot of money for knitting, you feel fed up about it, It's really great if you can get friends with some people who knit with really nice stuff, because what they often have is leftovers, and I love leftovers. I love making things with leftovers. Another time I will show you my sock blanket that I made with all little sock yarn leftovers, and it's a king size blanket, covers my king size bed, and it is beautiful. I really love it. I love it so much. But yeah, so I love working with leftovers because it makes me be a little bit more adventurous, and it makes me think about doing things in a way that perhaps I wouldn't have done before. And I'll show you a little project I've got on the go in a little bit, which sort of demonstrates that. So anyway, first thing I thought I'd do is I would show you some finished things that I've done recently. As I was just saying, leftovers and unwanted skeins. I have friends who give me unwanted skeins. I'm like, it's amazing, it's fantastic. So this pair of socks that I made, I've made these for my auntie. She's just had her 80th birthday, and we're going to go and see her in a couple of weeks, and she's amazing. You would not know she was 80. She's incredible. And I thought I'd make her a couple of pairs of socks, because since it was a special birthday, we don't usually do birthday presents. And so I picked these yarns because they're ones that really suit her. I don't know whether you remember, might not if you're not old enough, but back in the 80s there was a thing for having your colours done, and you would sort of go and have a consultation, and they would hold up lots of different colours against your face and decide what suits you, what doesn't, and you would come out with a thing, and it'd be like so you'd be a spring, a summer, an autumn, or a winter. So my auntie, she'd had her colours done, and she came out as a winter, and it's all sort of pinks, I think very pale pinks, but also cerise, pale blues, silvers, greys, also like bright blues as well. So, and she wears a lot of these colours, and I have to say they really do suit her. She always looks fantastic. So with those in mind, I was thinking about what colour socks to make her, and I have made her a pink pair before. So I made her this pair. I don't know whether you can see very well on this because the lighting isn't great in here, but they have lovely little specks of blue and pink in them. And I just did plain pair because I just struggle a bit with patterns at the moment. I get confused very easily. Look at that though. It's a slip stitch heel. That's come out really beautifully, hasn't it? I really like that. My camera's struggling to focus on that one. And then the other pair I did. So yeah, I should say this yarn was given to me by somebody who decided they didn't want it anymore. So this is why this is a really nice. This is lovely. This is like a merino and nylon mix. So I just had it in the drawer waiting for the right person, and I came across it when I was looking for something to knit for my auntie, and I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. So that's that pair. And then the second pair I did, I have got the ball band for. I don't have the ball band for the other one. But look at this. Isn't this just beautiful? It's like, I don't know whether you can see, it's like variegated blue, lots of different colours of blue, and then all these little dots and things, they're all slightly raised. I don't know if I turn it sideways, you can see how they're sort of, they're slightly raised. And this is called Speckled Eggs by Once Upon a Time. Because that's going to show you it backwards now. That's no good, is it? Well, anyway, it's Once Upon a Time skeins, and it's called Speckled Eggs, and I love this. It's really, really lovely. So I have made another pair of plain socks, beautiful pair, blue socks. So I'm going to give those to her when I see her in a couple of weeks. So I'm really pleased with those. So those are the things that I've finished most recently. I'll just show you my tea cozy as well, because I'm just about to pour myself some more tea. So I made this tea cozy. I made this about 10 years ago. Just turn it around and then you can see. Look at that. It's so funny. I love these, look, the little knickers. They're really sweet. So this, this was from a book called Tea Cozies 2. And I believe there are like 4 or 5 of those books now. And that was actually on the front cover. I don't have the book because I borrowed it from the library to make the tea cozy. But it's really lovely. And it just works a treat because I'm always forgetting to drink my tea. So it just keeps it warm a bit longer. So I'll show you something else that I was given. Looking a bit of a mess now because I've sort of knitted with it and unravelled it and knitted with it and unravelled with it. So this is by Lang Yarns and it's called Yarwall Magic. And I think it was probably bought abroad because the label is all in German. Just wait till you see this colour though. Oh, you can't really see the colour very well in this light. I had to shut my curtains because the light was just wrong today and it was just shining right the way through and you can just see how bright it is in the background, and I had this huge weight, too much brightness. I couldn't turn my camera around the other way because the room is a bit of a mess. So I'm sorry, the colours are not coming out terribly well here, but I don't know if you can see, but this is really bright. This is like bright neon colours. And I tried knitting some socks with it and I realised, and I got all the way down, I did all the top of the sock, and then I did I was knit top down. I'll show you on this one. So I'd done this and I'd gone all the way down and I'd gone all the way to here. And I kept thinking, I don't like picking this up. Why am I not knitting on it? And I realised it was because it was so tight and so stiff. And I'd stupidly been knitting them on 2.25 needles, which I usually do. And the yarn was too thick. It's actually a 6-ply yarn. It even says on it 6-ply, so I don't know what I was thinking. So I ripped it all the way back, hence why it's all like this. And I thought, well, let me try again on 3mm needles. So I got 3mm needles, cast on fewer stitches, and started doing a cable. And I just didn't like the way it looked. Look, I mean, just look how uneven that is. Look at that edge there. It's awful, isn't it? Really bad. And I sort of, I got to about there, I think. And I thought I'm going to try with DPNs because usually I use a circular when I'm knitting socks. And it did make a difference, actually. It did make it slightly neater, but by that time I'd really fallen out with love with it, and I just pulled it off the needles because I really didn't think I could knit with this yarn again. So I took it to my local knitting group yesterday and I said, anybody want this yarn? And I had no takers. But somebody said, why don't you crochet with it? I still don't like the colour, but I might just give that a go. I don't know what I might do. Just crochet, because it's variegated. So I'm not that keen on crochet variegated yarn. It kind of comes out looking a bit blotchy. But I might do a sort of just a granny square and just make it bigger and bigger and bigger and just see what happens. So I'll show you the result and just see. I'm not 100% on this. I'm not taken with it, but it was free and it was given to me, and I don't like to waste things, you know. So we'll see what happens with that one. Also, yesterday at my knitting group, somebody else gave me this yarn, which they found at a car boot sale. So again, you can't really see the colour very well on here. It is mostly grey, greeny grey, I would say, with sort of green speckles in. And I thought it'd really make a really nice pair of socks for a bloke. And I just thought, given the fact that it's woven, it's spun really quite tightly, I thought you could probably do a really nice cable, sort of down the sides or something. So I might have a go with that at some point. I'm just looking at the label to see, but I actually think this is a really old yarn. It says 90% wool, 10% nylon. It's an ounce. 1 ounce, it says. We don't say ounces anymore. And then she also gave me this cream as well, but that has no label on at all. I'm not sure what it's made of, so I might have to do the match test and see what happens with that. If you're not sure what the match test is, you take a little bit of yarn and you set it alight with a match and just see what happens. And if it sort of goes into itself, then you know it's got nylon in it. And if it just burns, sort of smoulders, then it's wool. Wool doesn't burn very well, but it does sort of smoulder. Right. So those are the things I finished, and that's the yarn that I'm sort of looking to use. So the next thing I'll show you that I've got on the go at the moment, I think. Okay, so this is some yarn. This is also some yarn that I was given. She says looking for it. I was given 3 balls of this. I'm really not good at this, am I? I'm going to have to work out why it's showing everything backwards, or whether I can flip it round or something. If I manage to flip it round, you'll wonder what I'm talking about, won't you? So this is Adriafil, and it's really, really soft. It's I haven't got my glasses on, I'm sorry. So it's 50% acrylic, 40% mohair, and 10% wool. So, and it's really quite soft and nice and fluffy, but because it's slightly fluffy, it's got that slight halo to it, I just thought it's not going to show up cables or lace or anything particularly well. So I was wondering what to do with it. And it's also, you sort of knit it on 5mm needles, so it's kind of like an Aran weight. And then I was looking through my drawers to see what else I got, and I found this, which is this is Stylecraft Special Aran DK, and I also found this, which is also Aran DK. Why am I saying Aran DK? Stylecraft Special Aran. So that's what these two are, and obviously they're not wool and mohair, but I did think the colours went quite nicely together. So I've started knitting a little cardigan for a baby. I quite like those colours together. I was a bit worried it might look a bit meh, you know, a bit sort of all one colour, but I don't think it does actually. I think it looks okay, but you might have wondered why I was showing you this copper one. Oh, by the way, this is gold, Stylecraft Aran gold, and this is copper. Okay, so this is the cardigan that I'm knitting. There you go. That's by Elizabeth Smith Knits, and it's called Little Coffee Bean, which I think is so cute. So, but I'm not doing it in coffee bean colours. I'm doing it in this green. It's green and gold, and then the copper colour. It's going to have little foxes running along the bottom. I'm quite looking forward to doing those. It's top down, so I haven't got there yet. I've just split off for the arms, so I'm just doing the backwards and forwards bit. So I just need to measure and make sure I stop in plenty of time to do my foxes. So quite looking forward to that. So this I cast this on yesterday evening. I've done a little bit this morning, so it's not taken very long at all. So that's on the go at the moment. So the other thing I've got on the go at the moment is something for me, and this is the Ravello sweater by Isabel Kramer, and it's one that's been in my list to do for a long time. And actually I'm using yarn that I bought myself, and I am using Drops, and I love Drops yarn. I've yet to find a Drops yarn that I don't get on with. So most of this is Drops Flora, but some of the colours I think are Drops Alpaca. So I'll show you it now. So I've just done the body. Look at those colours. Aren't they beautiful? They're so nice. I'm sitting too close, aren't I? Should sit a bit further back, then you can just see. So the this neckline, you can either leave it or you can put a an I-cord round it, I think they said. I don't know, I might try it on and see what I think when I finish. So yesterday I just finished casting off the bit at the bottom, and I have this problem. I have this body image problem. It's kind of a bit weird. I think I'm thinner than I am, and I always tend to make things too small. So this time I picked a couple of sizes bigger than I thought I needed, and I think it's probably going to be about right, actually. So there was just something about, I don't know, it's a bit weird, isn't it, really? Most people tend to see themselves as fatter than I am. I just think I'm much thinner than I am. I think I'm just deluding myself. Anyway, so that's the Ravello. So the next thing I've got to do is to start doing the arms. So which means I go and get out my stash of lovely rainbow colours. I love rainbows. Absolutely love rainbows. I have rainbow stuff everywhere. In fact, look, on my tea cozy, I have a little rainbow sweater. And in fact, actually, I should show you my teapot. There you go. So, love rainbows, have them everywhere. And I don't often make things for myself, so I thought it was about time I made myself a sweater. And I thought I'd do some really nice, jolly colours. I have a thing about colours. I love colour, absolutely love colour. And I took a sort of a decision when I was in my early 30s. So I'm just gonna have a slurp of tea. A bit thirsty. I took a decision in my early 30s that I wasn't going to wear black anymore, because every time I put something black on, I felt depressed, and everybody was just like, well, but what are you going to wear with stuff? You know, black goes with everything. And I was just like, well, you know, other colours can act as a neutral as well. So I picked grey and navy as my neutral. So I have navy, I have grey, and that's worked really well for me. I don't think I even have any black shoes. A couple of pairs of black tights, I think, but I don't think I even have any black shoes. I wear a lot of navy, and I do like grey, but most of my wardrobe is quite brightly coloured. You'll probably see as we go along. So that's that. What else can I show you that I've I'll show you something else that I'm in the process of making. I haven't picked these up for a while. I'm a bit scared, actually. But I think it's about time I picked these up again and got on with it. So this is more yarn that I was given. This, oops, just dropped something off the table. This is West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply sock yarn, and this is 75% wool and 25% nylon. I love West Yorkshire Spinners. It's really, really nice yarn, lovely yarn, and it's not that expensive. But like I said, this was a gift. And because it was a plain one, I thought I could really, really go to town on the patterns. And so I picked a pattern that I've been wanting to do for ages, which is the unravelling rib pattern. Just look at this. Look. Isn't that really, really beautiful? I love that. So it goes around the back. And then look, it even goes down the heel. So I couldn't do my usual heel flap. I did this. I went to put it on a sock blocker, actually, so you can see, but I haven't finished off the toes. Sometimes what I've done with the yarn that I've been given, because I've been given so much of it, is just as a way of kind of paying it forward. I like to make socks and I put them up on my Facebook page, and I just say, if anybody would like this pair of socks, let me know. And then I finish it off in their foot size. They have to comment with their foot size, and then I just ask them for a donation just to cover to cover. I don't ask them to cover the cost of the yarn, but I ask them for a donation just to cover postage and a bit of my time, and also to give me a bit of money to then put back into maybe buying some more yarn, or it goes towards Christmas presents or something like that. And as you can imagine, that's quite popular, and people really enjoy getting homemade socks. So I say it's a bit of a win-win really, because I have more sock yarn that I could make socks for myself. So yeah, it's really nice. And most people give me about £15, £20 or something. So it's not hugely expensive for them because they're getting a pair of handmade socks. And my outlay is nil because I've been given all the sock yarn. So and then I get to knit a nice pair of socks, so we're all happy. So yeah, this is the Unraveling Rib Socks by Limonene Knits, and it's a free pattern. I should have said also the little coffee bean pattern with the cardigan that I'm knitting, that's also a free pattern. I use a lot of free patterns. I love a lot of the designer stuff. I really enjoy knitting their stuff, and I totally think that, you know, they deserve to be paid for what they do. But like I said, I am on a budget and I can't really afford £5, £6, £7 for a pattern, but I do truly think they are worth it, and I would never ever sort of go and pirate a pattern or anything like that. That would just be completely wrong. The Ravello sweater as well that I showed you, the by Isabel Kramer, I think that's a free pattern as well. Can't remember. But anyway, if they're on Ravelry, have a look. Okay, there was something else I was going to show you. Oh, one of the other things I really like to do is I like to make things. I like to sew as well. So I've made, I don't know whether you saw them in the shot, I made these little bucket bags. I'll sit back a bit, you might be able to see it a bit better. So it's like it's got a round bottom, and then it's got a drawstring top like that, and then it's got contrast fabric inside, and it's just, these are just perfect for this. So this has got my Unraveling Rib socks in, so it really comfortably fits the yarn, the socks in progress and the needles, and also the pattern. So I always print out my pattern because I don't trust that my phone's battery will last, or I'll be somewhere without Wi-Fi when I'm doing them or something. So there's another one. Again, this is fabric that was given to me. Isn't it beautiful? Look, it's got little clocks on. And I did a yellow inside, and again it's got that round bottom. And then I made this one yesterday. So this has just got a little drawstring top and fabric on the bottom. And this fabric, where did this come from? Charity shop. Quite often charity shops have a basket full of craft stuff, and you'll find it's a jumble of zips and buttons and scraps of fabric and bits of yarn and stuff. And quite often people in the shop don't really know what they've got, and they just shove it all in that box, and then so you take a handful up to the counter and they go, oh, just give me a donation or something. So I picked this up, and in fact actually I made a mistake, because it was supposed to be the other way up. So this was supposed to be a big piece across the bottom, only I cut it wrong, didn't I? Because I was squaring off the bottom, so I was doing it with the pink bit on the top, squaring it off, and I made the squared off bits too large, and it was just didn't work. So I had to turn it the other way up. But I really like these colours together. So we've got that grey spot, and that's a sort of a cerise pink, and then this lovely blue. So I put a blue ribbon in, and then the inside, this is like a starry fabric, which I've made a dress out of. I'll tell you about that later when I'll wear the dress another time, and then you can see it. So that's probably about it. I don't think I have anything else to tell you just now. It's just nice to chat to other people who like knitting and sewing, and crochet and stuff. I haven't got any crochet to show you today. Maybe another time I'll show you some more finished objects or something. But I think that's probably it for now. So rather than blithering on for ages about nothing, I will say goodbye, and I hope you've enjoyed my podcast, and I hope you'll come back and watch me another time. I haven't really decided what I'm going to title it. In fact, as I'm doing this podcast, as I'm doing this video, I haven't even decided what I'm going to call my channel, but I think I might call it Meow, because that's my nickname, and it's goes back quite a long way, so it kind of makes sense really, I think. So it might be Meow's podcast or something like that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed listening to me blithering on and showing you what I've been up to, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.